More applied dimensional analysis, higher powers. So for higher powers, we're going to apply the exponents to both sides of the conversion rate. So let's look at this. So if we have, say, 1 inch, which is equal to 2.54 centimeters, right? If we're dealing with an area, what that means is now we're going to go like this. We have to square the 1 and then the inches squared, and then we're also going to go on the other side. We're going to square the 2.54 and we're going to square the centimeter squared. Right, and the reason is we have to do this, right? If you think about an area, right? What happens is you're not just doing the one side, you're doing both sides to cover the whole area. So in order to do the conversion rate right, you have to make sure you apply the exponent to the numbers and to the units. So let's look at some examples. Example 1. A basketball has a volume of 455.9 cubic inches. Convert this to cubic centimeters. So we're going from cubic inches to cubic centimeters. So we know that conversion of 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. But we're dealing with cubic inches, and we need to go to cubic centimeters. So what do? We just go ahead and raise everything to the third power. So the units and the numbers. So now we have our conversion. Now we can go ahead and set this up. So we have 455.9 cubic inches. So we have inches cubed. Now, all we need to do is place this right. So we need to get rid of inches cubed, right? Cubic inches. So we go ahead and put that on the bottom. And then on the top, we're going to put 2.54. Raised to the third power, and then centimeters cubed. Now let's go ahead and get the calculator out. So we go 455.9. Now this is important. We go 2.54 times 2.54 times 2.54. Now if you have another calculator, you could go 2.54 raised to the third power, and then just multiply it by the 455.9, which is a little bit faster. This calculator, I just have to do it like this, so let's go ahead and do that. And we get our answer to be 7,470.86. We'll just round to the nearest hundredth. So as our answer, let's go 7,470.86. Now, this can cross out, right? Our units cross out. Notice we didn't care to divide by 1 because dividing by 1 will just be this number, right? It just is the number itself. So we're just going to leave it as is, like this. And we have cubic centimeters. So that's our solution. Example 2. You're planning to plant grass in your backseat. Your yard is 42 feet by 28 feet. You need to cover the entire yard with 4 inches of topsoil before you can spread the grass seed. Topsoil costs $27 per cubic yard. First, how many cubic yards of soil will you need? Round to the nearest tenth, and then second, we're going to look at the cost of the purchase of the topsoil. So let's kind of first think this through. So we have a yard that is 42 by 28, right? So I'll just kind of draw this. Obviously not the best to scale, but 42 by 28. But then we also need 4 inches. So this is where our volume comes in, right? So this is the 4 inches. So we're looking to put this all with topsoil. So first, we're going to need to find the volume of this. So notice that we have feet here and here, but we only have inches here. First, let's go ahead and convert 4 inches to feet. So if we were to do that, we have 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. So 4 times 1 is 4 divided by 12. So we're going to get kind of we're just going to keep it actually as 4 12s. Then we're going to just go 1 over 3 feet. It'll just be easier to multiply rather than going 0.3333 and continuing on. So first we needed to make this, right, into feet. Now we can go ahead and find the volume, right? So just finding the volume is the length times the width times the height. So we have 42 times 28, so volume, times over, or times 1/3. So what does this all become? Well, let's just get the calculator out. 42 times 28. 42 times 28 equals, and then we'll just divide it by 3. So we get 392. And what's that? Well, that's feet cubed, because this was feet, this was feet, and this was feet. So we have 3 feet, so 3 copies, so that's feet cubed. So now we found our volume. But we need it actually in yards, because we know in order to purchase topsoil, they need it in the cubic yards. So feet cubed is no help for us. So let's go ahead and do this. We have 392 feet cubed. Then we need to go from feet to yards. Well, we know that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. So as we're dealing with cubic, like right, we're dealing with volume, we're going to have to not only raise everything to the 3rd power just for the units, but also for our numbers. So we have 1 raised to the 3rd power, 3 raised to the 3rd power. So now we can go ahead and now multiply. Because what happens is, right, we get rid of the feet and we're left with yards cubed. So that's, we did it right. And so now we can go ahead and multiply. So we know 392 times 1 raised to the 3rd power is just going to be 392. Then, we're going to simplify this first before we do this. 3 times 3 times 3 is then 27. So this is yard cubed. So let's do our calculator, just now divide by 27, and we get 14.5, because remember we're going to round to the nearest tenth. And this is for yard cubic. So that's how much you're going to need. So 14.5 cubic yards. Now we're going to find the cost of this. So 14.5 yards, cubic yards. That's important. What's the other thing that's really important in this information here? We look back, we get $27 per cubic yard. Well, if we do 27 over 1 cubic yard, right? If we do this, what happens? Well, we can get rid of the yards, right? It just crosses out because we use this as a conversion factor. Then we go 14.5 times 27. So let's go 14.5 times 27, and we're going to get 391.5. So that will be the cost of the topsoil.